Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news. Is there anything going on? Reality TV, Jeff Lewis Live. Let me take a peeky at my TMZ app. Aaron Rodgers is married. Lots of speculation about that the last few weeks. He just admits that he is. You know, the Gavin Newsom stuff. Oh, I bet Christina will talk about this next time she's on Jeff Lewis Live. Tark knocked some dude out that was being rude to his dad or something like that when they were in Las Vegas, and they didn't press charges, I don't think. Anyways, I don't really see anything huge, but welcome. Mary was the first to comment. Thank you. Shanda and Lacey, shout out. Cecile, Michael Riley just opened a bottle of Pinot Grigio poolside. Clara and Cecile, Michelle, Kay Kitty, Lucy, Kimberly J. How the heck are you? Or what did Elisa say on the second hour today? Holy guacamole or something like that when she was talking about her 13-year-old daughter being a teenager, and they were like, don't say guacamole, like just say shit or fuck. It was kind of funny. Anyways, oh my gosh. Hey, Pinky and Diane, how are y'all? I hope you're having a great day. We are having a beautiful sunshiny day here. I need to go get some sun very soon, just get some vitamin D, some pure joy, happiness, you know, all the things. So I hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. If you are new, welcome. Let us know where you're from. Get comfortable in comments right over there. If you ever want to come on at the end and ask a question or a comment, you can copy that StreamYard link. I also start at the very top of the thing. So just copy that and it'll tell you all you need to do. You don't have to download an app. It doesn't cost money. None of the things. It brings you on to here. Hey, Margaret. Okay, today we're going to chat Love Hotel. Then, of course, today's Jeff Lewis Live. One of the most, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button. Now I can take all that jazz off so it doesn't distract me. Oh, you're so sweet. Kimberly J says, hello. I love seeing Sarah from Texas's face live and love seeing your names. Hey, live crew, I missed you guys. We missed you too. Welcome back. I know life gets busy, and I did put out a poll at the end of last week or over the weekend to see if y'all wanted to still go live over the summer 5 days a week. If you want to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, what else did I ask? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it was. Anyways, most of y'all said do what you want, but we would love to see you 5 days a week. So I am going to keep 5 days a week. If I ever have to cancel for some reason, if I'm going to the beach, you know, just want to lay out by the pool with my kids, go to lunch with a girlfriend, all the things that I usually don't make plans to do because of going live every day, then I will just post it on the YouTube or post it on my Instagram and the Facebook group. So I will always keep you posted of that. But anyways, I just wanted to, look at my hair coming out. I just took a shower. I didn't wash my hair, but I pulled it up into a clip, and then I just did a fresh pony. So when I do, then my hair starts falling out because I'm on terzepatide, which Patti Stanger called it terazepide or something like that. She called it something different. I call it terzepatide. If anyone's on it, let me know with a thumbs up if I'm saying it wrong. Compounded terzepatide. Now, mine doesn't have NAD in it. I would have to check my Mochi Health app and see what mine has in it. It is called something else, but I think it's for energy. Basically, it's like a B12 or something supplement. So basically, when you get your medicine from a non-name brand, I think the rule is they have to change it up a little bit, right? Because it still has and I might not be saying all this right legally, but lawfully, I think it still has it's the brand name. So it's not the generic yet, if you will. It's not available generically, if that makes sense. Anyways. Ann Pope says, how long will it take us to get to Michael's house? I mean, do tell, Michael Riley, do tell. Yes, it is the summer, so we will understand. Margaret says, thank you so much. Michael Riley says, where do you live, Ann? Come on by. He's got a bottle of wine, right? I can hop on a Southwest plane. I don't even love. I wouldn't even. I don't need wine to hang out with Michael freaking Riley. I have a feeling Michael Riley and I could chat all night long, just like I could with all of you chumpettes. So, and oh, Mary's pretty close, 3.5 hours for her. Anyways, okay. Like I said, I just perused the TMZ app, not a ton going on. But I did watch Love Hotel this morning. OMG. Okay, I've got to know. Are you team Earl or are you team Shannon? If you listen real close, you can hear that LuNA, I don't even want to say her name, is snoring. She just got into her crate. I think she stopped now. Anyways, okay, I did watch it. So episode 7 aired on Sunday night. Next week is the finale. I don't think we get a reunion, so I guess we'll just have to take it for what it is. I guess all the news will start coming out. I've heard of the 4 couples that one is together still. I get different tidbits of information from y'all, so I still can't figure out who I think that is. So y'all tell me in comments who you think is still together, and also tell me what scoop you've heard. Have you seen someone together? Is Dumois or Bravo and Cocktails some insider Bravo blogger telling us something? Because I only hear what I hear, and sometimes I'm asked not to say anything because it's too close to the source and they don't want it to get out. So anyways, but I don't think I've heard anything concrete from any chumpettes necessarily from about Love Hotel. So I don't know. Somebody did say something the other day about somebody seeing Giselle with one of the guys. Giselle is the least one that I even think is interested in being in a Love Hotel. I mean, she seems to me like she's just there to collect a paycheck and have fun at the beach. Yeah, Michael Riley says bad timing for Earl, but bye. I mean, the hurricane came and gone. Hurricane Helene, the damage didn't look all that bad. You know what I mean? I'm like, is it enough to like leave the island and be all dramatic like that? I don't know. Dolly Girl says she's team Shannon, but they're both a little cray cray. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Lisa Lewis, for being number 37. Oh, I didn't put the comments on. Sorry. Now the comments will show up on right there on the screen. It's a button I have to push every single time. Kay Kitty says she's not on Earl's side or Shannon's side. Is that because they're both cray cray? I mean, I feel like they're both a little needy, and I feel like they weren't a good fit, even though she now says on Watch What Happens Live that I watched last night that they had this insider joke where they were calling each other simple and, well, I'm not simple, but you're simple. And I'm like, I still don't love it. Like if I were him, no man wants to be called simple, especially no man that owns 2 different homes, right? Like, and not that all success is defined financially, but nobody wants to be called simple, right? I don't know. So weird. Oh, maybe someone did tell me it was with Jay, which is weird because he's the one that removed himself. Yeah, Louise says Giselle was seen with Jay recently. I did hear that. He's the one that self-evicted himself. He was like, look, I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to look like a fool. It's almost, well, we'll get to it, but it's almost what Ashley was having Wale do yesterday at the end of the episode. She was like, are you removing yourself? Like, are you going to make this easy for me? I'm like, oh my God. Right. Yet she says sex is the most important thing. What were the things? Food, sleep, or sex? And I think she said sex was first. I'm like, Kay Kitty says Giselle gives off no sexual energy towards any of these guys. Exactly. Earl ate the black-eyed peas. What does that mean? That's funny. Kimberly J says, I'm 100% a Shannon apologist and have been for years, but she's awful for Earl. And now it makes me kind of wonder if she awful for the other guys she was with. I mean, totally. She has no picker, right? Like I think he was the sweetest of the 3 that we know she's been with. David the door, which he was not sweet or didn't seem sweet to me. John Jansen, I thought was sweet at one point, but afterwards, it definitely didn't seem like he was sweet, and he was out for too much vengeance after he was with Alexis. So that was just gross. I think a lot of them have remained friends, which is interesting. I mean, it's only 3 weeks of your life. It's not like months. It's not like summer camp. Clara says, I heard that Shannon and Earl had lunch with Vicky and Michael. So like a double date, maybe. I've heard a little bit of that. So, but I still don't think they're the ones that are together. But now I'm being told, even though LuAnn kind of teased with her aquamarine ring that looks like an engagement ring, that she said it's not, but it is from somebody, it is a gift. She was seeming like it was from James, but now I'm told she's with some other like realtor guy or something like that. So I don't know. I've even been given a name. Yes, that was so weird. Cecile says, I've lost a little bit of respect for LuAnn, and I didn't have much. Mary says, didn't someone call into Jeff Lewis Live who dated Earl from a website and said that he stunk like sweat, like he was really sweaty and had body odor? Ew. It is. Mike O'Reilly says, I resisted, but Love Hotel really is a fun, mindless show. It really is. I think so too. And the fact that James is like, I love you, you're my girlfriend. And LuAnn's like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not your girlfriend. But don't forget, I think I had a fruit fly and I didn't catch it. Oh my gosh, it was a fruit fly in my bedroom. Mayboo says a lot of the men have been very touchy-feely. It's a bit creepy. Yeah, they have been, for sure. Oh, that wouldn't shock me at all, because in the audience of Watch What Happens Live with Shannon and her daughter was Mark. I mean, talk about a moocher just wanting to be there. Like he was like, I think he liked, who did Mark like at first? I feel like he really liked LuAnn. LuAnn didn't give him the time of day. Then he was gone. I feel like they brought him back, but sorry, I'm collecting my hairs that I can go put in the trap. Look at all this hair. Gross. Do y'all lose a lot of hair when you when you brush your hair into a ponytail? I mean, it's not a ton, but if I wad all my long hair up, it is looking like a lot. But anyways, remember I just done a new ponytail. So see, then I'll lose another strand or two. And then they brought him back just for funsies, I think. And then he was trying to whatever, but I think he was then trying to go for Giselle. And Giselle was like, I think you just want to be here. Like, I don't think you're out for anybody. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. Giselle's your favorite, Cecile? Ooh, definitely not mine. She just has zero personality, in my opinion. Yes, Dolly Girl said Shannon said on Watch What Happened Live that she stayed in contact with 3 of the guys. Who was it? I feel like it was Ralph. Gosh, I feel like it was Ralph, maybe Phil. I can't remember. Oh, that makes sense. Louise says they had a premiere party at Phil's house in Brentwood. Oh, that sounds fancy. Yes, I did. Somebody did say that on live the other day. Michael Riley says Kelly Dodd said that Shannon's not with anybody. So yeah, that was weird that Mark was in the audience of Watch What Happens Live. I'm like, you just want to be on TV. And plus, you can come with someone on Watch What Happens Live and be in the back green room. Remember when some people are dating and Andy Cohen like years ago would be like, oh, I met your boyfriend in the back. He's so nice. Or I met your girlfriend, or I met the and they don't necessarily come out and sit in the audience. He definitely wanted them. Oh, Shanda says Kate Casey said that her friend dated James. Super creepy. Oh, wow. Okay, Kitty said Mark said several times he's just there to have fun. And he definitely seems like a character, but I don't think he was there for. Oh, he is? He's successful? Oh, he's from New York City. Okay, well, that makes sense that he was at Watch What Happens Live. LuAnn says Mark is very successful. He's a real estate broker and developer. He has resorts properties in New York City. He's very wealthy. Cecile says hormone fluctuations can cause hair loss. It also sucks getting older sometimes. Beats the alternative though, right? Oh, Lisa's asking if Michael Riley is skinny dipping in the pool. Don't forget the sunscreen. Oh my God. Oh, Phil and Adam. And okay, Phil and Adam, and also Wale. Yeah, I think everyone really liked Wale. I did too. Yeah, Kate Kitty says Giselle is cold as ice, no warm fuzzies at all. So what if he wanted to be on screen, Louise says. Well, I mean that he just wanted that more than being there to support. But if they've remained friends, then it's probably a combination of that. But then he was like coming on to Shannon. Shannon was like, look, I'm not number 3. Like, I'm not like, you're not going down the list of everyone. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. Um, I mean, he didn't look bad. Yeah, he's just, I don't know that he's any of the 4 girls. Sorry, I'm icing my foot again, so I was making sure it stayed. Oh, the green piece will be after me. Mabu says, Michael, I wear a swimsuit sometimes on holiday, but put a cover up over it. Frightened the green piece will be after me otherwise. What is the green piece? Is that like if you get naked or something? Yes, that's what I heard. Margaret says LuAnn is supposedly seeing someone in the Hamptons, also in real estate. Oh, he's also big into Grateful Dead. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Ralph Growl. Check, please. Oh my God, y'all crack me up. Okay, so it starts off episode 7. There's 72 hours until checkout. So now we're getting a little bit more of a timeline. We now know that the first, after the first week is when Shannon and Earl had that first big argument, basically about, not communicating, her giving him a dirty look. He was like, you always tell me what to do, and you're mean about it, what have you. So now they're 3 days until checkout, and they actually have the option to give someone their hotel key and like spend the night the next couple of nights, almost as if they're on a little vacation, like going away for a weekend. So Shannon is the first and only one, maybe something will happen next week, but I doubt it. It's episode 8, the final, that offers her date, Earl, a key to her hotel. So he comes, he packs up his hotel room, moves into her hotel room. But what was weird is he then lets us know, and production lets us know, that this Hurricane Helene was coming in, and it was actually worse than everyone was saying. And it was actually ending, a lot of people lost their lives in the hurricane. It was much worse than they thought. So he's got a home in Florida, and he's got a home up in Georgia, which is north of Florida. And the way it was coming, it was just coming to hit one or both of his homes. So he's like, I don't have anyone there. I don't think he had anyone that could check on it. They'd probably already evacuated. He was super nervous about it. And she's like, oh, everything. My light. I guess I didn't charge it. Thought I had charged it. Anyways, it's going to be dark in here now. He says, does that even help? I don't feel like that helps at all, does it? With the lighting? Who knows? Anyways, he says, now I'm obsessed with getting the hairs out of my ponytail because I can't stand have loose hairs. She says, oh, it's going to miss your house. Well, clearly it left. Clearly the hurricane moved. His a direct hit coming at his house, I think in Georgia. And he's so upset that she doesn't like come back to the room. She's texting because she shows. Did they show any text from him? Does anyone remember? I don't know. I think she was checking on him. I don't think I remember if he was texting back. But whatever it is, he gets up, packs up his stuff, and leaves. Like he wasn't answering her calls. It fast forwards to the next morning where she's like getting ready. She's got glam there and her hair and her makeup being done. But all the 3 girls come in and check on her. And they're like, oh, they're definitely team her. They're like, how are you supposed to know that a hurricane could move? Now, I get it. Shannon grew up in Orange County. So hurricanes is not necessarily their thing. It's more, well, I don't know if they have anything, maybe tornado. I don't know what they have, but they really don't have hurricanes. So she doesn't know a lot about them. He's upset that she wasn't asking about him. And he's like, look, I'm always there for you. I'm checking on you, and you weren't doing that for me. So basically, I'm out of here. Like, it was crazy. Oh, yeah, I'll bet. Louise says, Earl said on Instagram that he's been surprised and hurt by what has been said about him because all the other ladies were nice to him to his face. Well, welcome to Bravo. I mean, that's kind of what it is, right? I mean, Anna says, I went through the hurricane worse than anyone expected. I would think if you're seriously considering someone is your partner, you would be offering support. Very insensitive. But I think sometimes, just like we had not a hurricane, but we had a what are they called? A tropical storm years ago, maybe 2017. I forget what it was called now. Tropical storm. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna remember it just after this. But anyways, it just stopped. Like we were even hosting a party. Like we had lots of friends at our house, and nobody had any idea that the weather was getting that bad. So sometimes the weather just stops and gets on you. And we had like 40 something inches of rain in our immediate neighborhood. Now, luckily, we're built really well and we didn't have any water damage or anything like that. But there was immediately within about 10 miles of us, lots of damage, and school was out for like 2 weeks. It's driving me nuts. I can't think of what this one was because I was like raising money and I was getting gift cards for it. And we would go out and help and volunteer and stuff because we were so thankful that we were spared, right? But I say that to say, sometimes you don't know beforehand that things are going to get so bad. You might know afterwards. Also, a lot of people have evacuated, so you're not learning in real time how. Yes, Harvey. Thank you, Dee. You're from Houston. Hurricane Harvey ended up being really bad because the water, it wasn't such a bad wind event. It was more so that the water just stopped and stood there. So that ended up being really bad. So I say that to say sometimes you don't know until the very end of things. So I feel like Earl was just kind of a little butthurt for sure. I mean, Mayboo says, let's be truthful. Does anyone think that any of these ladies would give these men the time of day if it wasn't for the show? No, I do not. I think there's a lot to be said for obviously somebody living in your same city or state. And none of these people, they didn't pick anyone based on where they live, all of that stuff. So there's a lot of factors, which that's a huge one, right? Where you live, actually. Yes, Laura says, I remember Hurricane Harvey and all the flooding. It was terrible and it was really bad. I want to say Pearland got the worst, like our little bleep of a thing, but it was a flood event versus a wind event, which is a lot of what or tornado event. You know what I mean? Dee says Harvey was a rat bastard. Exactly. That was weird. Michael Riley says, and when Phil said that Ash, who was it? No, it was, who was it? Cynthia Bailey had been at his house for a party with her ex-husband, Mike, because he's friends with her, but he never said anything to her because he's like, she doesn't remember me. And she's like, I know, but you should kind of say something to like you've met her. She never mentioned that she'd been at the house. That's weird. Yeah. You think? Does he? We don't know. I mean, he says he has a PP, which is a private plane. Obviously, has a PP, we hope. Kimberly J says, I think James is the only one that would make it in their world. He's got all the moolah and homes. Hey, Annie. Yeah. K Kitty says there's something off with Phil. Michael said that too. Jose. Oh, I did watch the one with Giselle, I think. Linda says you'll have to watch What Happens Live. It was Giselle who said she was still seeing someone. I think they could all be, playing it off. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, Phil. Oh, yes. Kimberly J says Phil. That's who I think. I just don't think Phil is into women 100%. Like I think he's just I don't know, just into his house, and he's a Ford model of 40 years. Did y'all catch that? Theo has done some modeling. Phil's been a model for 40 years. He's like, oh yeah, it's just fun. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, now maybe I know why his skin looks so fantastic, right? Oh, Anne, are you talking about LA? Is it only LA that's having the rioting, or has it expanded sadly to other cities? I really hope not. I certainly don't hope it doesn't expand in any other states or get any worse. I hope it dies out for sure. Anne says, how many of you are in California and is everything okay? I assume she's talking about the rioting and stuff. We had it on the news a little bit last night, but I can't watch all that negativity. I know it's reality, but I can't watch all the negativity. It just terrifies me. Kimberly J says it's so weird that Phil didn't say hey to Cynthia, but again, I'm so middle class that I have no idea how that crowd moves exactly. I mean, and also being like, it's her ex-husband, right? It'd be different if you're not friends with the ex-wife, the ex-husband. It's different if they were still together and everything was all good. I mean, allegedly, Shanda says is Phil straight. I mean, that's why he's there, right? By the way, yesterday we came up with some really good ideas on who should host Love Island season 2, and none of them were Joel Kim Booster. So check out yesterday's YouTube or the podcast at Sarah from Texas if you didn't catch it. No. Laura says, did anyone hear about Jamie Kennedy ranting on his TikTok live the other night? My algorithm had people talking about it yesterday. No, I haven't heard anything. Now, I'm not real caught up on my DMs. I'm really behind on my Instagram DMs. But so usually people will send me stuff like lots of black to read. Black means it's bolded, meaning I haven't read my DMs yet. No, I haven't. Oh, was there an earthquake today? Oh, is there looting also? I was just seeing about like rocks being thrown and stuff. There's some planned protests around my area this coming weekend to believe. I'll stay home, Cecile says. Oh gosh. Definitely sending all of our prayers out for everyone involved in that. And obviously it's a very political and emotional and financial and, you know, historical, so much involved in that. All the emotions involved around ICE and all of those things going on and why people are protesting. So, but it's just hard because I just don't think violence is the answer to anything. But sometimes that's what gets results, I guess. I don't really know. Wow. Smileen says, I heard that in LA, the protesters were chopping up the sidewalk and chucking the pieces at law enforcement. Yes, they're protesting ICE raids, Dana. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so did y'all catch when James, they were talking about what your fetishes are, and James said his fetish is to date a housewife. Ew, like nobody wants to hear that. But later, who's the guy? What's his name? He's kind of been under everyone's radar. He is a psychotherapist or somebody. He's still there, but no one's really been dating him or super interested in him, it doesn't seem like. He pulls Countess LuAnn aside and basically says, look, I have red flags. I hear red flags from James. He's not the one for you. He says very weird things and things that are, you know, red flag. Instantly, she is like, where's James? Where's James? I need to see James. And she just goes and looks for him. And she's basically doing this voiceover saying, why is he putting down James? Like, I love everything about James. He loves me. He cares about me. He's being very emotional to me. Like, James is my dude. Like, get away from here. It was very interesting. Ew, no, no. Clara says, did anyone think that James and LuAnn were beep, 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 beep in the water? So when they were all at this group spa day, they had an ice plunge water, they had a regular hot tub, a regular pool, and definitely they showed James acting as if he was going down on LuAnn. And I'm like, y'all are way too old for this. And there's, you know, 10 people or more. I mean, production, camera, all the other people. It wasn't even just the people paired up. These are still other guys with them that haven't paired up with anyone. It was really kind of gross. Yeah, I think so too. Mama Judy says James is a creep. I mean, they could go back to her room, right? It was really kind of gross. Yeah, Shanda says, I'm no prude, but that was too much. Yeah, it was gross. You should watch it, Laura. It's really good. I promise you. They're an hour episodes, so without commercials, if you watch it on demand, it's probably like 42 minutes. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yes, Kay Kitty says the production camera people made it look like they were. I know, it was gross. Well, exactly. Rebecca, don't forget, she's like, LuAnn married Tom in 5 seconds, so she doesn't have a good picker. She did that in planning this huge New Year's Eve wedding, right? Corey, come get me this water. I left my water at the end of the thing right there. Don't forget that she married Tom very quickly, but also don't ever pick Can't stand when people pick up a water like that, so I have to drink from the place that he's laughing. Uh, they got engaged very quickly. She also married the Count very quickly. So I think she would have married Tom even quicker if they had a much smaller wedding. But remember, it was Tom's very first wedding ever. And, he was so rich. LuAnn's like, I don't think LuAnn had a huge wedding. I feel like they got married very quickly, her and the Count. Like maybe it was even a destination wedding or maybe at the courthouse, something like that. I don't really know. Let's see. She held up for him no matter what. She told Jeff he's a billionaire and that's why it was hard to walk away from him. Debbie said, yeah. I get it though. At her age, she's like, but at the end of the day, I hand it to her for leaving because basically Tom was just still a playboy and I think cheating on her maybe. Definitely wasn't wanting to settle down like she was. You know what I mean? She did. Maybe who says, am I wrong? Or did LuAnn say that Tom was a billionaire? Yeah, with a B. Yeah, and I don't think any of us knew he was that rich. Kimberly J says, I love that these gals are living out loud. Guys have dated many women for years. Time for these women to do it. Be fluid and sex positive, girls. Get it. The more the merrier. Woohoo. And I love that Ashley was like, look, I'm bisexual. Like, I might want women in the future. I mean, she didn't rule it out in talking to Ralph, and he seemed open to that, but then they were both saying we're both monogamous people. Like if I'm with you, I only want to be with you. I think they both had experience in threesomes or swinging, whatever it ended up being, something like that. But I think they were both very clear that they're not interested in that at all anymore. So I don't know. I think after Wale kind of made her pick pick somebody, I think he probably kind of excused himself like I'm embarrassing I'm not even proud of myself being here acting like this. So I think she does get Ralph, even if they don't date for long. I don't know. Again, I wrote down about Shannon and Earl when he moves into her hotel and she still calls him simple. I'm like, oh my God. James with the I love you to LuAnn. She's my girlfriend. And LuAnn's like, no, you're not. Like, this has been 2.5 weeks. Like, we are not boyfriend and girlfriend. Mitch and the others are all worried about him. They're like, if I were you, who was the one? Was it Mitch? Maybe he's the psychotherapist. I can't remember. So I'm getting Mitch and Mark mixed up, but they're two very different people. I think it's Mitch that's a psychotherapist, but one of them said, if I were your friend and you were dating someone like this, I would punch him. And I'm like, oh my God, like we don't have to get, physical here. It's kind of crazy. Oh, Shanda says, at the Regency, I've partied there. Lots of high-end escorts and other socialites with their dogs at the bar. Hot bartenders, free peanuts and popcorn. Can't be like macadamia nuts. It's got to be peanuts. I don't know. That's right. Debbie says she dumped the guy that she was living with in New York City when she met the Count, right? Weren't they? I think they were living in New York City. And she had met the Count and they knew they were going to get married and she just left the dude or whatever. Very interesting. Okay. So we already talked about Wale giving an ultimatum to Shannon. I do want to know who's right, Earl or Shannon. Like Shannon was so upset, but at the end of the day, she didn't feel bad that he left. She didn't seem sad that he left. She seemed mad that he didn't communicate with her and text her and say, hey, the hurricane has shifted. Now it's going straight for my house. I'm very worried. Would you come back and hang out with me? But also, what was she going to do besides hang out and comfort him? I don't know why of all nights, that's the night the four of them went out alone. Because I don't think they'd ever done that before. The whole point of the show was Love Hotel. So why did she give him a key to her hotel and then say, hey, I'll wake up with you in the morning? Or he was saying, we'll wake up together. I'm going to go to sleep. You're going to be in my arms. It's going to be so wonderful. She's like, yeah. So I'm going out with the ladies. I'm going to be dancing on a bar. I'm going to have too much to drink. And then I'm going to come home all wasted and probably go to sleep with my makeup on and not go to sleep in your arms. Instead, she comes back and he's hightailed it back to Georgia, apparently. So Very interesting. Oh, you don't think so? Michael says Earl wasn't up for banging. I don't know. I kind of think he was. Uh, I don't think he did. K Kitty says, how could talking about Tom, how could Tom hide that from social media that he's a billionaire? Well, I don't think anyone hides that they're a billionaire. I think whatever apartment he had in New York City and the location and the height of it and the size of it and how it's maintained probably lets him know, let her know, and the planes and the money and the engagement ring and the bank accounts, I don't know. Very interesting. Um, I think I'm team Shannon, though, in the sense that they're in Cabo, Mexico. I'm not sure flying into where the hurricane was currently hitting was the answer to anything. And what was he going to do? Like, there's nothing about 2 or 3 more days that he couldn't get a neighbor or a friend or family member to check on his homes if they were even allowed to. Because a lot of times, if a hurricane is that bad, nobody could get in. There's down power lines for a couple of days. Like, if you didn't evacuate, then usually you're upset that you didn't because you're out of power, you don't have food, it's hot. It was last September 2024. There's nobody open, there's nobody to go into the restaurants and give you food. I mean, it's a lot of stuff if you weren't prepared to just hunker down, as they say, in your house. Um Kay Kitty said, if I knew my house was about to be blown to pieces in a hurricane, I probably wouldn't be up for sex either. Oh, because if he's, yes, no, I get it. That because now we know after the fact that he was so much more worried because the hurricane had turned, it was going to hit maybe one or both houses, that he was so worried about it and upset. But also, wasn't Shannon texting him? Like, they showed the text. Wasn't that Shannon's? It wasn't his. I don't think he was even texting her back, which is kind of weird. Um, wasn't Tom with Sonia first or Ramona maybe? I don't know. I think Tom was down with a few of them, Kim. I think what's the other guy that's known to date all of them that was Aviva's husband, ex-husband, Harry Dubin. Yes, Harry Dubin, I think, was with a few of them. Like, I think people get pass around bottom, if you will. You know what I mean? Ooh, Smiling says, I can't picture Shannon having sex. Well, she claims she did it all the time with John Jansen. Oh, my goodness. Yes, Mike O'Reilly says, Tom effed them all and New York City. Louise says, I don't know how Sarah keeps up and talking to. I know it is harder to talk and read comments, but I love y'all's comments. They're so good. And LuAnn wants them all. Exactly. Okay, on Watch What Happens Live was Shannon and Drew Sidora from Real Housewives of Atlanta. I haven't watched Atlanta in a couple years, so I don't really know Drew that much. But like I said earlier, Mark from Love Hotel, who I assume ends up with nobody, was in the audience next to Sophie, one of, Shannon Bedore's oldest daughter that lives in New York City, I think with her own boyfriend. I'm not sure. She's the one that graduated from Baylor University in Texas, and now she has a job and living, I think, in New York City. They did ask a question, something about which Atlanta husband has the small dick energy. And at first, Shannon didn't want to answer. And she's like, well, I have to say Eddie. So I don't think she necessarily meant Eddie. I think she was just putting down Tamara because she didn't want to put down anyone else. You know what I mean? Oh, that's right. I forgot somebody told me to hit a button to see if now what button was it? Put the Windows thing? I'm going to hit the Windows button and see what happens. Nope, no. Okay. Well, they said hit the Windows button on your laptop, and sometimes a few emojis will pop up, but none popped up for me. Anyways, oh, I was like, why did I write that on there? I forgot. Okay, so today Jeff put up the picture of a picture from the back of Monroe's head with like 6 Labubus on her back. It's still up. Last day of 2nd grade. It's a really cute picture. I mean, her with her Labubus, her little tennis shoes. I mean, her little, I guess it's a dress. You can't really tell. Her little backpack. I mean, it is really sweet. I do think every parent should, celebrity or not, should have a right to post a picture of their kid, especially the last day of school or whatever they want. But it is a different situation with Jeff engaged since they are co-parenting and have a very tumultuous relationship right now, and a very tumultuous relationship about or different opinions about posting Monroe now that she's older, and especially about these Labubus have been a bone of contention recently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't see 6, but I guess maybe that's one attached at the bottom. Maybe that's 2 of them, that little brown and the light brown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess. And then apparently she's going to carry, or I guess she already did, I'm sure school's already over, 2 huge garbage bags of Labubus to pass out. Now, what I'm curious about, I know this is a private school and I don't have any experience with her school or anything like that. I'm kind of curious if the teachers are allowing her to pass these out. I would almost think, especially with it being on radio and this being kind of an ongoing topic of conversation for weeks now, and especially with Gage having very different opinions about it, that the school is even allowing her to pass out these Labubus. Michael Riley said the teacher shouldn't allow that. Shouldn't allow them on the backpack. Like, I don't know at what point they can say something about the backpack unless they have rules on that. It's very interesting. And I thought she wore, oh, maybe it was a dress code waiver day. Cause I'm like, that doesn't look like a dress code outfit. Kind of agree. Mama Judy says, doesn't seem safe. It's setting her up for, I guess she's going to say things. I mean, even our school couldn't have like light up lights, shoes, because they thought it was distracting to people. You know what I mean? It's setting her up for theft, Mama Judy says. And I mean, I would hope nobody's stealing, but I think even wealthy kids steal, not necessarily because they need something, but like the excitement of it, or just to be whatever, a bad kid, or or just to have it, whatever. Maybe their mom or dad said no. Yes. Debbie says, is that a photo on Jeff's Instagram? I never look at his page. Jeff doesn't know how to post. Wait, what? He must have had Shane post it. Well, I think Annie does all of his posting, I think. I don't know. Annie, I think, probably posted it. But it's interesting because it's not just a story that will disappear on his page. It's a Instagram post. So I'm assuming he might leave it up for a while. I have no idea. Okay, let's definitely chat. Jean Marie says, I feel like Patti Stanger wasn't as obnoxious as usual today. She actually let Lakendra talk a little. So let's chat about it. So Patti Stanger, who hasn't been on in a long time, was on with Lakendra Tooks. Whatever Patti is promoting, she is really back in the game. She's been on a lot of podcasts lately. She's promoting them. She's promoting a movie. She was like, I want to be a dater. So I would go on one of these dating shows now, not just being the matchmaker person. I want to be the dater now. And at first, Lakendra wasn't talking, but we know Lakendra is single. I'm going to assume she won't say her age. She says she only tells the guys that she's dating, but she is very adamant she would like to be pregnant by the end of this year. So she is like, time's a ticking. I'm going to say she's at least 38 to 42 years old, not based on what she looks like, because she's beautiful and looks young and fit and energetic and all those things. I just think the fact that she won't say her age, and also when Patti said, you're not 30, and she was like, didn't deny it, that she probably is getting of the age where she needs to be shooting out a baby or two, because she definitely wants to be a mom. Lisa, LuAnn mentioned Dancing with the Stars, Max at an event, and Jeff said Max's son goes to school with Monroe. Well, Jeff talks about a lot of them. He and not Cynthia, what's her name? Whatever her name is, the girl with the coconut water. My brain went blank. Whatever it is, I think their kids go to school together, and maybe even if she didn't move, I feel like Monica Casey's kid goes to the same school too. I don't know. Yeah, I thought so too. Stony says, I thought the picture of Monroe was a bit risky because you can see the house across the street in the background, so people might figure out where they live. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Very true. Wow. And yeah, you see his gate, you see his hedges. Some of the hedges go above the gate, so you can figure out, you see where the gate is cut and where there's no hedges above that. And you very clearly see the house across the street. Oh my God, y'all are right. Now that's, I'm assuming, the rental that they live in, but he still owns that rental. So um it's not like he doesn't own and live in that house right now for God knows how long, right? Yeah, good eye. Other people will catch that too for sure. Cecile says Jeff needs to remove that picture, but once it's up, I promise you, it's in the Facebook groups. I promise you, it's on Reddit. I promise you, it's wherever else people chat about Jeff Lewis. I promise you. Yes, Crystal Minkoff. I cannot think of her name for sure. Um, oh, I'm not reading that. I don't know. I don't know if that's the name of the school or not, but I'm definitely not reading that out loud. Um, Yeah, Debbie says he talks about landmarks around him all the time. So true, so true. Okay, so Patty's ready to be a dater. She definitely says she definitely says uh, controversial things. I mean, the fact that Jeff was even saying, like, don't say that, you're going to get us canceled. I'm like, oh my God, for Jeff to be like, you're going to get us canceled. She was definitely saying this is the Jewish way, of the Jewish mom way. A guy should love a girl more than the girl loves the guy. Then she started talking about African American men and whether they were going to buy Lakendra a Birkin or not, and basically implying that they weren't. And Jeff was like, are you saying that African American men don't have the money to buy a Birkin? And she was like, I'm not saying that. Don't put those words in my mouth. That's going to become on, all the news and everything, the outlets and stuff. And I was like, well, then stop saying anything related to, I'm literally picking at my nails. I need a manicure so bad. So I need to go because my little calyx, or not my calyx, what do you call those things? The little, whatever that stuff is, the little things need to be, my little things, these need to be fixed. So now I go to the doctor soon. Soon I go to the hand surgeon to fix the myxoid cyst, I hope they can do it in the office. That would be amazing. No, Michael Riley says, I'd say the girl should love the guy more. No, I think the guy should love a girl more too. Um, Wait, Michael says, maybe because I have a son. What's the saying? Yeah. Cuticles. Thank you, my cute. Y'all tell me all the words. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Lucy. Um, I think anyone could probably figure out where Jeff Lewis lives. I mean, I don't care to, but I think there's probably a lot of people could DM me and tell me. When he bought the first house, the one he's redoing, I was traveling and someone instantly sent me like a video of it from like the real estate place saying, here's the video of this house for sale, all the remodeling it needed. I mean, it did have a pretty outdated bathroom and the whatever. So I've even seen a video of his house because people were sending it to me in like 2 seconds flat. I'm like, because if anyone's in real estate, they probably realize what house he bought or word might get out. I don't know. Oh, Kimberly J says, I was raised by a Jewish mother. Patty is absolutely embarrassing when she talks this way. She's always made me cringe. So it was interesting. I was like, just zip it. Like, seriously, Patty, like, just zip it. I am so curious how old Lakendra is. Like, she is adamant she's not going to tell anyone. She does say that she's very honest when she goes on a date. She does tell the person. Patti Stanger's like, tell them when you get married, though. Like, I lie and say I'm 10 years younger. So I don't know. Oh, I love that. No, why do people repot plants? Do they get too big? Lisa says, I was listening outside while repotting my plants and up on my poop deck. Her poop deck is because she has 7 dogs. That's why she calls it that. Yeah. Oh, Shanda says, 3 sons. Man should love you more. Yes, I think so. I'll teach my son that too for sure. Okay, so on the second hour was Alyssa Donovan and Doug Buden. I thought they were so funny. Doug starts talking about this bird buddy. It's this smart bird feeder that you can like look at your app and like see a camera right there and see when the bird's like super up close and personal when they get into the bird feeders. I think it's cute. I do sort of agree though, for 200 something dollars, even on 40% off sale right now, mybirdbuddy.com. Alyssa's like, I would rather see nature in person, like not on an app on my phone. So that's the only thing I agree with, is that I would rather see that. But if you're not going to sit there, you can't see it up close. Like I'm looking outside as if I'm going to see a bird up close. I don't even own any bird feeders. So I don't know. Kay Kitty says, I don't know how Patti Stanger thinks it's okay to lie about one's age. I mean, they said they all do that on the app though. Hey, Tiva Tambo, dipping in to say hi. Oh, you moved your spouse to hospice. I'll be back soon. Keep us in your prayers. Bye all. Oh my gosh, Tiva Tambo, absolutely huge prayers going out to you and your entire family. That is such an emotional decision. My mom decided to have hospice at her house, but I know some people choose to, or maybe even need to, have to go into a hospital with hospice. So that's just never a good decision, never a good time, I should say. So prayers for you for sure. Yes, I thought it was a super fun show though. Alyssa was talking about her 13-year-old daughter and how she's got a little boyfriend. And then Jeff drops the bombshell. So last night, Monroe has teased it before and said, Dad, I think I want to sleep in, or Daddy, I think I want to sleep in my own bedroom. And then she ends up in his bed again. So basically for about 20 months, Jeff's been counting down, I'm sure, because he was actually enjoying it very much. Monroe started sleeping with him every night. So this is after he and Chef Stu broke up, because I don't feel like she even slept with him when Chef Stu would sleep there sometimes. I mean, on the nights that I don't think, if I remember correctly, that Monroe slept in Jeff's bed on the nights that he had her, but that Stu wasn't sleeping at her house, because I don't think he spent the night much when Monroe was there, but he might have. I just don't remember. It was so long ago. But anyways, and then not only that, he let her tuck her in, and then Toby, the dog, goes and pops up on Monroe's bed and sleeps there all night long. So basically, he had everyone leave him alone, and he was stuck alone. So Monroe is now maybe full-time sleeping in her own bed. So Jeff's going to be all lonely in his bed. I don't know. Maybe he'll have Ty start staying with him every other week whenever he's gone. I don't know. Oh, Raquel says, is it me or Jeff and Doug would make a great couple? Jeff doesn't want to admit it, but I think he finds Doug interesting. Oh, I definitely think he finds him interesting and entertaining and fascinating. And they talked a week or two ago about if Jeff and Doug could live together. And they kind of said maybe they could, because Doug loves to be in the kitchen. Jeff never is in the kitchen. So they would actually be in different parts of the house. So very interesting. It was kind of interesting to say that. Michael Riley says, I heard Ty stays lots in a hotel, not at Jeff's. I'm sure Jeff is paying the hotel bill. Oh, I wouldn't think so, but I guess I don't know. Has he said anything either way? I don't think he said either way, like, oh, I woke up and Ty told Zoila or Aurora. Like, I don't think I've heard him talk about those details when Ty is there. He just talks about like, oh, us going out to dinner or stuff. I think that's all part of and maybe Ty doesn't want, like, if paparazzi are outside Jeff's house, which I can't imagine they are, to see him, or so maybe they do go to a hotel. I have no idea. Stoney says it's super healthy for Monroe to sleep in her own bed at this age. It shows she's not as insecure and neurotic about attachment to Jeff. Yeah, but she's only 8.5. I mean, and I think it's different because they're, co-parenting. So, it was maybe the big transition of her like getting used to all of that. No, Debbie says, I don't think Jeff would be romantically involved with Doug. Yeah, I don't think there'd be any hee-haw, none of that. Jeff would be found in the shed after a few months, Mayboo says. Deja Monet says, I know, but it's true. Depending on the man, if he knows you love him more, he will run all over you. Sadly, I know from experience. Ty's a screamer. Ew. But nobody lives with Jeff, do they? Like Aurora doesn't, I'm sorry, Zoila doesn't live with him anymore. Aurora lives in OC and drives up an hour, hour and a half from the OC. Like I don't even know how that makes sense. I did watch last night. I went to the gym to do the recumbent bike. So I did 45 minutes of that, watching season 7, episode 3, I think, of Flipping Out. And it's where Lupe quit. So remember that housekeeper where so Aurora wasn't there yet. This is still when Jeff's grandma is still alive. So Aurora probably helped out down there. And then Zoila was like the house manager. So she was kind of the boss over Maria and Lupe. Maria was in good graces, or at least faked it, with Zoila, but Lupe did not like Zoila and was like rolling her eyes at her and saying she was being rude to her and stuff. And then all of a sudden, with no notice, Lupe quits. And so then Zoila had to start, cleaning the house again instead of just being the house manager. We used to have banana plants in the corner. We clipped them all out. Lisa says, I was separating my hostas, and my banana plants. When they're in pots, I don't have to pull weeds. Plus, I didn't put a bunch of flowers, just pots, dirt, and I mix my used ground coffee grounds, eggshells in. Well, I have heard something about eggshells and coffee grounds. Debbie says, you're so good, Sarah, about going to the gym. I was going to, but I'm going to go eat Mexican food now. And a margarita, maybe just a little one with salt on the rocks, ? What happened to Sam, who worked a short while ago? We kind of talked about him yesterday, and I almost had forgotten about him. I feel like they let him go. I feel like Shane had to let him go, right? No, Shoe and Makeup Girl says, has the video come back to Sirius for Jeff's radio show? Nope. No signs of it. But then again, we only heard about it and we got like no notice. It was like Jeff was like, by the way, video's been canceled, no video. So there was no like 3 weeks notice or anything like that. Yeah, I feel like they let him go, right, Michael Riley? Don't remember. I guess Sam did. Maybe he did videos and then they hired Annie. I really can't remember. It seems like a blur. Doug did teach me the word macerated today. I love when he teaches me vocabulary. Jeff is still obsessed with the Weight Watcher points, even though he's not even signed. He's like, I'm going to start when I get the contract. I'm going to start when I get my first paycheck. I'm going to start when it's like, Jeff, like, are you really going to count points? And then, so don't forget, Alyssa Donovan, who they've talked about over the years, had an eating disorder for a while, and admittedly, so that she was kind of joking about like, oh, I'll give you tips on anorexia and eat one meal and fake like you're eating the food. That stuff makes me uncomfortable because I feel like I feel like hopefully she's joking about this because she's in such a place that there's no chance of her going back to that. But it makes me nervous when she talks about it because obviously I get worried that she would ever be an act, that eating disorder could come back or what have you. I don't know. Let's keep praying for Doug's mom. She has a herniated disc as of last week, so she's in a wheelchair. She is a very active, or used to be very active until recently, even walking like 5 miles a day in Central Park. So I'm sure that's a big transition for her, and especially with Doug living in LA, his sister living an hour and a half away. So, I think she's obviously the widow. So Doug's dad has been passed away for a long time. And then at the very end, they promoted scarysherry.com, which is the website that never comes up for me. Like it comes up if I share it, but if I go to put in scary, so if I type in Google scary, www.sherry.com, I mean, Sherry Martell, all sorts of weird stuff comes up. Nothing about that video comes up. Maybe I don't need to put the www in. But when I shared it to the Facebook group, it came up. And it's like it's kind of a website, but kind of not a website. I have dog hair everywhere. It comes up with basically a website, a scheduling thing like Calendly.com. It's basically a website to schedule these 35-minute psychic readings with Scary Sherry, which has been Jeff's, personal psychic for years, a long time ago. Shanda says, been there, Deja. Maybe it's primal, but men like the chase. Famous. I'm going to start on Monday. Yes. Diet. Yes, for sure. Lisa says, expensive buying flowers, and I'm on a budget. Thank goodness my ex cuts my grass. Oh, yeah. Flowers are expensive, especially if they don't live, right? It's so annoying. Margaret says, I couldn't believe the way Jean leaned into Annie yesterday on the show. It was degrading for her. We had a huge chat about that yesterday, and a super fun Instagram live last night. I think 3 others joined me on video, so it was so fun. I love chatting with the Royal Chumpette. So if you want to join my subscriber on Instagram, it's $4.99 a month. Cancel anytime, but you get all the back Instagram live. So it was a really fun one yesterday. And I think the week before that, was that one the Zoom? I can't remember, but it was just one other person. So I got a private, 40-minute conversation with one Chumpette. It was super fun. They sell everything on QVC. Michael Riley says, I buy all my flowers on QVC, guaranteed to live or you get your money back. Even my flower places don't do that. They're like, no returns, because I guess they know I would kill it. So annoying. Anyways, well, thank you so much for joining. I think tonight is Next Gen New York City. Also, The Valley season 2 is on tonight. So I don't know which one I'll end up watching. I will watch one of them. Free shipping too. Oh my God, you're going to get me hooked on QVC one day. I swear to you. Debbie says, don't ever act like you're that crazy about a man. I've been married 30 years and it's healthy to let them pursue you and do the texting, open the car door, etc. I adore him, but kind of play it cool. Yes, Kimberly J. Instagram Live. Yes. If you're a Royal Chumpette, then you should be on the chat. So basically, on your messages on Instagram, like when you have your messages, you should see a thing to join the subscriber chat, because the subscriber chat is only for us that are subscribers. So it's called the Royal Chumpette chat. I'm going to hide it in case it says names and such, but see the Royal Chumpette chat. Anyways, and it's one of the social channels, they call it. Anyway, that's included too. And then, of course, the weekly Instagram Live, which is every Sunday night at 7 Eastern. But last night it had to be Monday because I had my daughter's college graduation party on Sunday night. Exactly. What doesn't QVC sell? Wonder if the flowers would grow in California. Yeah, you just have to buy the flowers that would grow in your area and shade or sun or whatever, right? Anyways. Well, thank you so much for joining. I will go charge my light so I have it for tomorrow. And make sure you're subscribed everywhere. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and comment. I would really appreciate it. And if you're listening as a podcast, make sure you scroll down and hit that 5-star rating and review. Bye, Chumpette.